Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in to Scott Week. I'm here with Tommy Dalman of Dalman, Narborough, and the Regimental Mace Company. And Tommy has COVID. He just did a little cough or sneeze. I'm so sorry, Tommy, that you have COVID right now. I don't think I've ever interviewed anyone who's had active COVID.
Wow. I'm glad I'm your first, Cindy.
Well, and I'm glad, let me just say, I don't mean to make light of it. I'm glad that you're doing okay. And I'm so grateful and thankful that you're able to be on here with us under these circumstances.
Not at all, not at all. Very pleased to be here on Scott Week with you. So thank you for the invite, and I'm absolutely fine there, but thank you.
Wonderful to see you. And I just wanted our viewers to know a little bit more about your company, because a lot of our viewership had been to the Highland Games. We have our media share partners that are almost all of the largest Highland Games, both in the United States as well as Canada. And so everyone has seen the massed bands and the drum majors out in front, and also military bands. And so I just wanted people to know sort of the face behind the company that makes a lot of the accoutrements for the military. Most importantly, I should say, most especially the maces that are beautifully constructed and crafted. And so that's why I wanted to have you on. And we've had a couple of other interviews with Mark Riley of the Washington Tattoo, of people who know you and who you have made maces for them. And so I thought it was important and really fun to have you on. And then we'll attach to this interview a little reel of Ken and his maces over in his office, a couple rooms that way from me just now. So thanks for being here with me.
No, you're most welcome, and thank you. So yes, Dalman and Narborough stems all the way back to 1850. I think we're the second oldest company in the world that still produce Highland. I'm going to turn the light on. Highland regalia and all uniform accoutrements that are used throughout the world. We're incredibly proud, predominantly of our drum major maces. To which, as we were alluding to earlier, I think we're really the only company now left in the world making very high-end custom maces, from the foot guards to pipe bands, regimental bands, marching bands, jazz bands, and even as far as the US and Canada, where we're currently making. Well, we've already made the maces for all of the senior bands in the DC area, which is incredible. So yeah, it's in our blood, and I'm very lucky. I'm the 6th generation now from the original family firm.
That's phenomenal. And I know that you are based in Birmingham, England.
Correct. So the powerhouse of manufacturing.
Has the company been there this entire time, the whole 170 years?
Yeah, pretty much. We recently moved location in 2019, just before the pandemic. And we'd been prior to that in the same location since our establishment in 1850. It was a bit of a sad day to leave the origins of our kind of our heritage but we outgrew the property we were in, which is a good thing, right? I think. And yeah, we've now got a custom workshop, which I'm really proud of, because manufacturing has become harder and harder to do in the UK. And the fact we've managed to retain it, not only retain it, we've grown it, and we've gone from strength to strength. And we're producing some incredible work now from our small team there.
Well, and of course, in the description, either below your screen right now or off to the side, depending on how you choose to view YouTube, I will put some links so that everyone can go and view some of this amazing items that you have for sale online and things that you're making through your company, and also follow you on social media. Do you have any projects in the works at this exact moment that you're most excited about?
We have several, which is quite a nice answer, right? we've been blessed that we've managed to hold and maintain the contract for making the sporrans for the UK Armed Forces. One way or another, we've held it for approximately 50 years, but we've recently retained the contract, which will keep employment both in Birmingham and Perthshire in Scotland, which is where we do all of our sporran manufacturing, and we do all of the metalwork in Birmingham. We continue to have success with our Regimental Maces, which is incredibly important to us. And in fact, in 10-15 days time, I'll be traveling out to DC to deliver the maces to the US Marine Corps for Drum Major King. It's a project we've been working on with my colleague Ken for over almost 2 years now. Incredible amount of detailed work, but we're pleased it's coming to an end, and I'll be personally delivering them in the not too distant future. So yeah, incredibly proud of both of those.
Well, and it's fascinating to me just being a little bit around the periphery of this world of yours, and just understanding to a small degree the amount of work that goes into these, what are incredible works of art, the maces themselves. Can you tell us a little bit about that process? And of course, I'm going to link to whatever I can find so that our viewers can see some of what that process entails. But can you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, normally there's a customer from an elite band, whether it be a pipe band, a marching band, whatever it may be. They generally have a good appetite of what they're looking for. And the difficulty today is how can we create something that in some cases maybe 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, but using modern technology as well as traditional traditional ways of working, which is what I guess we're very good at. And it can start from a CAD design drawing where we maybe the customer sends us, their mace head, where we can scan it in and start doing molds and works. But a lot of what we do is still done by hand. So if you have a finial, the citadel, for example, on top of a mace, we work that from clay. And all of those works are still done by hand. And it takes many, many months to create such a piece. And it's interesting when we have a unit who will contact us and ask us about the development of a mace, they're always slightly taken aback when I say a 57-week delivery time. I don't think they can quite get their head around that, but I think there's probably only 2/3 people in the world that can make a mace to that level, of all of which work in our organization. One of them being my father, who at the age of 72 is still, carving out of his craft on a daily basis.
That's incredible. I can't believe that, but I do believe that. But I understand that it is a really refined art.
Yeah, incredibly. It's incredibly difficult. There are numerous other companies who are dabbling in it and using overseas products, but there is no prestigious band in the world that would or should be using any other mace other than from our workshop. And we're very proud of that.
And I can see why. And as I mentioned before, we'll look at some of Ken's maces that he has here that were constructed in this way. And so that people can see the fine detail and really truly the works of art that each piece actually is. But in addition to making maces, you make a great many other different types of products, including, but maybe not limited to, and stop me or correct me or by all means add to this. But you make also all things for Scottish ceremonial regalia, bonnet badges, plaid brooches, doublet buttons and badges, waist, cross belt for broadswords, dirks, skin dews, and sashes. And you have made these items for Her Majesty's Royal Marines, the Royal Regiment of Scotland, and supplying and dedicating items to Her Majesty the Queen, HRH, the Earl of Wessex, and HRH, the Duke of Gloucester. Yeah,
that's quite a list, eh? We're very, as I always refer back to, we're very privileged. We work incredibly hard. I believe we're still the largest supplier in the world of Highland regalia. So from head to foot, from bonnet to shoe, I would like to think we are still the largest supplier of Highland regalia in the world. In a few weeks' time, you and I were just briefly talking. I'm off to the conference in Nova Scotia, where we have a conference for the 16 Highland regiments. They have 16 versus our 6 and a bit. And that's incredibly interesting, where we're working with 16 kilted regiments, all with their weird and wonderful quirks. And it's just a lot of fun working with regiments like that, that don't know where to get kit from. It gets harder and harder to do as the world keeps spinning. But we have a very steep heritage. And if anybody's out there looking for difficult equipment for their pipe bands or military bands, we're absolutely the company to contact.
Yes. And again, the links are either below or off to the side. So please do not hesitate to contact Tommy and to go on his wonderful constructed website and look at the different types of products. They're absolutely everything that you sell is wonderfully constructed and made and true works of art. So I would encourage everyone to have a look, and be sure to say hi to my friends at the Black Watch when you're in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
About that. And Tommy, did you see anything change for you during the pandemic and for your team and for production? Did anything affect you guys?
Yeah, interesting. I think it predominantly brought us all closer together. You know, we're a relatively small SME company. And if anything, I just feel as if it all brought us closer together. I think it really helped from a global footprint point from imports, where particularly in North America, it's still flooded with imported goods from Far East Asia. And I think because of the supply issues, we did see our traditional customers, you know, we work with a number of wholesalers or dealers in North America and all around the world that retail or sell our products. And it was really encouraging to see our sales figures increase, and I think it was predominantly, I know it was due to the demise of the supply chain from the Far East. So yeah, it was really positive for us. One, from a overall team perspective, you know, when you get to spend that amount of time with your staff and colleagues. And also it was just a bit of a shift in the marketplace, and it was extremely welcomed after years of battling imports. So yeah, I think people are seeing the true worth of Dalman and Narborough, the Regimental Mace company, Ammo and Company in our wider group, and using, you know, UK manufacture where you can control, you know, what you're doing. And I think that's been good for us, the whole COVID saga.
There's been lots of positives, as much as we like to look at the whole pandemic, mostly in a negative light at this point, and people are tired of being shut in and the world is opening up again, and it's all very exciting. There's been a lot of amazing positives that have come from it as well. And I think as long as we continue to look at things in a positive light and move forward, it's going to be wonderful. And I'm so glad to hear that your business did not suffer, but actually got maybe a bit better as a result. And I'm so sorry that you actually have COVID right now. It's not, and here we are chuckling. It's nothing about, but it's amazing that you still came on with us, and I'm just so excited to interview you and introduce you again to maybe some new people through our audiences. And I want to let everyone know that we will be meeting you in person in Washington, D.C. in just a few short weeks. And I cannot wait to meet you in person. And we're going to be filming a little bit there and bringing that back to our YouTube channel for people to see some of these regiments actually doing what they do best, and some of the beautiful works of art of the maces. So I'm going to do some up close filming of that. And so don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel here. I hope you're enjoying our ScottCon production. And Tommy, thank you so much for being here with us.
You're most welcome. And I look forward to breaking bread with you in a few weeks' time.
It sounds wonderful. Maybe we'll have a dram or two as well.
As well.